So last Friday night, my friends and I decided to spice things up and enter the local bar's trivia contest. We're not exactly what you'd call a high IQ group, unless the trivia involves knowing every topping at Taco Bell, but it was a slow night, and we figured, how hard could it be? Kevin, our resident history buff, self-proclaimed, mind you, showed up in a beret and a striped shirt, which we thought was just him being weird. He kept muttering something about being ready for the revolution, but we just figured he was mixing up his weekly Dungeons & Dragons persona with real life again. The first few rounds went about as well as you'd expect. We got a few science questions right, thanks, Google, but things started getting weird once the history questions rolled around. Every time the host asked something remotely historical, like what year did the Berlin Wall fall? Or who was the first president of the United States? Kevin's hand shot up so fast he nearly took out the nachos. And every single time, his answer was the French Revolution. At first, we tried to correct him, but he insisted, loudly, that the French Revolution is the answer to everything if you look deep enough. He even winked at us, as if he was in on some cosmic joke we weren't cool enough to understand. By the third time he answered with the French Revolution, the trivia host started looking suspicious. Kevin, undeterred, doubled down and started giving elaborate explanations for each answer. You see, the Berlin Wall falling was inspired by the revolutionary spirit of 1789, he declared, waving a half-eaten mozzarella stick like a guillotine blade. For the question about George Washington, he claimed, Washington was just America's Lafayette. The other teams started booing when Kevin stood up, climbed on his chair, and loudly announced that from now on, he wished to be addressed only as Rivala Nerd, supreme leader of the table of contents. Eventually, the host had enough and politely asked us to leave, citing irreconcilable differences with reality. On the way out, Kevin sighed dramatically, put his hand on my shoulder, and said, well, you know what they say, those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat the French Revolution.